I Like Dave Electric Performance Plus sponsored entry. It is Bill Leonard. And outside of him, driving in number 37, he is from Hope Valley, Rhode Island. That is Joe Godbolt in the number 37. Coming up next in the third starting spot will be the number 81. That is Phil Evans from Uncasville, Connecticut. And going off in the fourth starting position is the number 88, the Garbo Lobsters, Salem Liquors, Kennedy Marine, for Groton's David Sylvia. Going off in the fifth starting spot will be the number 11, that is Ken Cassidy Jr. From Lisbon, Connecticut, in the Cool 101 CB Fabrication G. Smith Construction sponsored entry. And then going off in the sixth spot will be the number 91, that is Chris Williams from Niantic, Connecticut.
Starting in the seventh position will be car number 33, Uncle Buck, Chuck Rogers from Quaker Hill, Connecticut. And next door to him in car number 94, you just saw him in the Legends feature. Now he's aboard the 94 car from New London, Brad Caddick.
On the inside of the fifth row is the number 93, the CB Fabrication WL Bond Trucking for Taftville, Connecticut's Jeff Soup Savardi. And outside of him, driving the number 6, it is Nick Papakota from North Branford, Connecticut.
Then it will be car number 38, starting 11th from Wood River Junction, Rhode Island. Circle T Masonry and Madison Signs brings us the Brew Crew and Ian Brew. And stationed next to him, occupying car number 65 from Groton, Connecticut, Rich Brooks.
Going off in position number 13, that'll be the 28, that is Ron Fortune from Carolina, Rhode Island. And outside of him in the 54, that's Jeff Miller in the Labriola Landscaping Finkel-Day Waste Removal sponsored entry from Westbrook, Connecticut.
Starting next will be the 0 car from Clinton. Koch & Son, Welland Pump Services, and A&A Auto Parts bring us Bo Norman. And next door to him in car number 04, a driver who hails from Farmington, Connecticut, or from Stratford, Connecticut, in a Transclean JP's Hobby Shop car, Christina Cunliffe.
Sitting in the 17th position, it's the 01 of Nate Appel from Westbrook, Connecticut, in the Superior Auto Body, A&A Auto Parts, and Pier 76 Marina car. And to hit the outside of him will be the 34, that is Ben Bargnesi from Norwich, Connecticut. Franklin Street Car Wash and Teague's Auto Machine sponsor that car.
Car number 50 will be next from Jewett City in adjacent Snide Plumbing Rainfall Logging car. It's Scott Belisle. And opposite him in car number 99, it is car number 99 for Montana Mike Manifold.
Going off in the 21st starting spot, he is the 2005 Mini Stock Track Champion. It's the number 18 of Danny Field. St. Pierre Builders, Roger Allison, and Angel Graphics sponsor the Deep River driver. And to the outside of him will be the number 19, that's Norwich, Connecticut's Michael Lee.
Ivorytown, Connecticut brings us our next driver aboard car number 51 in the Big A Auto Parts Affordable Plumbing car. It's Mark Panarone. And lurking next to him in car number 3, one of our Rhode Island contingent of drivers. He hails from Westerly, Rhode Island, in the Auto Works Finish Line Signs Skin Graphics car. It's Randy Johnston.
Starting all the way back in position number 25, it's a 05 of Terry Mongillo from Niantic, Connecticut. Niantic River Transmission is her sponsor. And to her right will be the number 83, that is Christopher Lee.
And then rounding out our field in car number 21 from Ashaway, Rhode Island, it's Kyle James. And that's our very talented field, ready for 30 laps in our mini stock features. Microphone is Dave Barabalt.
Leonard and Godbout bring them down to the line. They will look for the green flag. It is in the air. Leonard on the inside, Godbout on the outside. Godbout gets the early run as Leonard falls back off the pace, and Phil Evans and David Sylvia fall right in behind.
Leonard did not get up to speed on the start as he fades from first to fourth. It's a double file duel for second, consisting of Evans, and now on the outside is the 88 of Silva. They're all trying to track down the first lap leader, Joe Godbout.
Godbout leads the way down the backstretch. Evans to the inside, Sylvia to the outside of the battle for second and third. Then comes the 91 of Chris Williams. The 8 of Bill Leonard has fallen back to the 5th spot, and in the 6th spot is the 11 of Ken Cassidy.
Now it is the 33 of Uncle Buck, Chuck Rogers, looking for some leverage down low, trying to pick up a spot against Soup Savardi. He is unable to get the job done. The battle intensifies for second. on the bottom, Phil Evans, as those two cars are almost crazy glued together as they hit turn 1.
Those two cars rage a war as they go through turns 1 and 2. The 81 of Evans on the inside. Sylvia on the outside gains a little bit of a run as they go into turns 3 and 4, but Evans evens it up as they come back off 4.
And moving a steady 4th place pace is a 91 of Chris Williams. And Bill Leonard, after a precarious start, has settled down into the number 5 spot.
But as we go into turns 3 and 4, the 81 of Evans now has lost the run on the 88 of Sylvia. Sylvia gains the 2nd spot. Evans falls into the 3rd spot. The 91 of Williams runs 4th, and Leonard closes up on Williams, running 5th.
So the crew of the 88 said they have a pretty good engine in that car this year, and it is turning out to be true as he tracks down the speedy Joe Godbout for the lead 6 laps into our race. As we check out the action further back in the pack, the 65 of Richard Brooks starting to flex his muscle. Trouble off in the front straightaway as the 19 car goes on the grass. We are staying under green for the time being.
Godbout still leads the way as they go into turn number 1. Sylvia runs 2nd, the 81 of Evans 3rd, the 91 of Williams 4th, and the 8 of Leonard runs 5th.
So that was a 19 car of Michael Lee that ran into trouble on the grass.
Godbout has had free sailing so far today. He still runs in that lead position. Sylvia looks to make a challenge on that lead position, but he falls back off the pace, and the 81 of Evans continues to run 3rd.
Then in 4th, it is Chris Williams, a little bit of a stutter step on the turn, and that enables Leonard to get underneath the 91 car. So a little bit of a bobble by Williams, and trying to take advantage of it is the veteran Bill Leonard. Ron Fortune is now off the track. He is on the access road, so it looks like Ron Fortune is done for the afternoon.
Godbout still leads the way with Sylvia running 2nd, the 81 of
Trouble
Evans
in
3rd.
turn 4 as Nate Appel is turned around. He winds up in the grass. And that will bring out the yellow. The car in distress was the General Lee car of Nate Appel.
So as we head back to yellow, Joe Godbout still leads the way. David Sylvia.
Car number 34, he's got a smile on his face as he looks at his battered Matt.
Well, right now the green flag is out, and another awesome jump as Joe Godbout looked like he was launched from a skeet shooter, but a good recovery by Sylvia. On the outside, Dave Sylvia trying to grab the lead.
Sylvia inches his way out front as they go into turn 3 and 4. Sylvia now has that lead as they come off turn number 4. Now Godbout on the inside. He will try to wrestle it back as they go into 1, but Sylvia still holds that line on the outside in the lead.
So whoever said the outside groove wasn't working, and now the yellow comes out as the 19 of Lee and the 05. Also involved is a 28, almost ready to regain that momentum and take a shot at Sylvia when the yellow flag came out. Getting a little nudge from Phil Evans, the driver behind him, but nobody has an answer for Dave Sylvia.
Sylvia inches his way out front as they go down the backstretch. Godbout now in a battle with the 91 of Chris Williams. Chris Williams on the inside looks to wrest that 2nd spot away as they come off turn number 4 and head to the stripe.
Williams a little sideways as he swivels coming off turn 4. He loses 2nd to Godbout, and he is about to lose 3rd place to Evans.
Evans makes the pass on the outside of Chris Williams as they go into turn 3, and the 93 on the inside, and here comes Bill Leonard on the outside looking to get that spot away from him.
Leonard, after a shaky start, he's a little slow on the starts, but then he makes up for it as the race goes on, as he just breezes by Savardi. A little hiccup by Savardi coming off of turn number 2, and that's why he relinquishes position to Bill Leonard. Now Leonard on the attack as he tries to overtake Chris Williams.
Leonard tries to make the power move on the outside of Chris Williams as they go into turn number 1 and head down the backstretch. Leonard now pulls side by side as they go down the backstretch and head into turn number 3.
The top 3 cars could fit inside a hula hoop. The drum major of the parade is Dave Sylvia, but making his presence known on the outside is Godbout. Here comes Evans. Strong move, trying to tunnel his way underneath the 37 car, but he just doesn't have enough energy to get completely underneath Joe Godbout.
He doesn't have enough energy that time but he gets another run on the inside of Godbout as they come to the stripe. Godbout holds like about a quarter of a length lead on Evans as they go into turn number 1, but Evans is pulled side by side as they go down the backstretch.
Now remember, this is what Joe Godbout did not want to happen. He didn't want to be hung on the outside because that's where he is very vulnerable, but he is doing a great job holding off one of the best in the game, Phil Evans. A cluster of cars battle for the number 4 position, as from 4th to 9th could fit inside a lunchbox, and the man with the most aid as Christopher Lee in trouble in turn 4, but Sylvia manages to avoid him.
Lee gets himself out of the way of race leader Sylvia. Sylvia heads into turn number 1. Godbout has wrestled that second spot away from Evans.
Battle with the 91 of Chris Williams. Chris Williams on the inside looks to rest that second spot away. Come on, turn number 4, head to the front.
Off the pace and is all the way back to 6th position.
And leading the band is the 88 of Dave Sylvia. He's opened up a 2-car length lead on the 81 of Phil Evans. Then we go back about 5 cars to 65 of Dick Brooks, and then the 18 of Danny Field has worked his way all the way up from 21st to 4th.
Well, Danny Field said he would be happy with a top 5 finish. Right now he is running 4th and trying to figure out a way to get past Rich Brooks in car number 65. Rich Brooks has been known for his late finishing kicks, and he is in a great position with less than 9 laps to go. The speeding bullet at the front of the field is Dave Sylvia. In second is Evans, but then the fun begins as we see Brooks and Field and Godbout all chewing away at the number 3 position.
Those 3 cars look to set sail and gain ground on that second spot as they go down the backstretch. Brooks leads the way, Field running 4th, Godbout in 5th, and the 11 of Ken Cassidy runs 6th, and 7th is the 8 of Leonard.
A pretty consistent run for Jeff Miller in car number 54. Jeff Miller usually has great days early in the season, and he is on his way to a top 10 finish. The battle intensifies for 3rd. Danny Field takes a look at the bottom, a little caffeine twitch for the 65 car coming out of turn 4. Got a little bit loose. We'll see what happens this time and if Field can take advantage of it.
Field looks to the inside as they come to turns 3 and 4. He'll make another run as they come off 4 to the outside this time of Brooks, but he is not able to power around as they head into turn number 1, and that leaves Godbout a little bit of a run on the inside of Brooks.
Brooks not handling coming off the corner. Field will try to take advantage of it. Dave Sylvia in cruise control at the front of the field. Here comes Brooks. Smooth run that time. Coming out of 4, Danny Field has to tuck it in behind him.
Field right on the back bumper of Brooks as they go through turn number 2 and head down the backstretch. Right behind Field is the 37 of Joe Godbout. The 11 of Ken Cassidy looks to close in on that battle as they work their way through turns 3 and 4.
Dave Sylvia doing everything he can to keep his car ahead of the fast-charging Phil Evans. Evans, another driver, known for his last lap drama. The battle heats up for 3rd and 4th between Brooks and Field, but nothing is more intense than the battle for the lead between Silva and Evans.
Evans has whittled that lead down as they head into turn number 1. He tries to close on the back bumper of Sylvia as they head down the backstretch. A little further back, the battle between Brooks, Field, and Godbout intensified. But back at the front with just 1 lap remaining, will David Sylvia be able to hold off the 81 of Brooks as they come to the stripe? Also, the 65 of Brooks runs in the 3rd spot. The 18 of Field runs 4th. The 37 of Godbout 5th. And on the outside of him is the 11 of Cassidy. As they come to the stripe, this time by, the checkered flag will wave. It's the 88 of David Sylvia, the 81 of Phil Evans. Sylvia takes the win, chased across the line by the 81 of Evans. And we have a wild finish with Joe Godbout spinning across.
So one of the veterans of this mini stock division came through with a great run, able to take the lead away from a very tough Joe Godbout, and he starts the season with a king size exclamation point, Dave Sylvia. Dave, I know you were counting the days since the end of the fall for today to get a little redemption. How were you able to pull it off?
Well, yesterday we had a lot of horsepower, but we couldn't hook it to the track. We went home last night, we worked on this car for a little bit longer. My wife got even more mad at me. But we're here today in Victory Lane, that's all that matters.
So he talked his wife into letting him come back, and today he has a smile on his face. Dave Sylvia, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of today's 30-lap mini stock feature. And Gary, it wasn't easy to get the lead away from Joe Godbout today, but Dave Sylvia was able to pull it off.